Hello, forgot to add us to the stage. That's a good one way to start tonight. Hi, my name is Stacy Lee. I'm one of your hosts, and this
I'm
is
Gary Lee.
welcome to the Rustic Spirit. Well, actually, now becoming enchanted by the Rustic Spirit with the Rustic Spirit podcast. I'm retaking the name back that I had before, and I felt like I wanted to change up things, and now I'm combining kind of the two. So we are back to becoming enchanted, and with the Rustic Spirit. So I'm very excited about that. Um, So tonight, let's see who we have in the comments. Joseph Grimm, I read your comment. Actually, it came through. Thank you so much for the love and light that you send my way all the time. You are a beautiful soul as well. Chloe, boo. Shauna, hey, hey. Hey, girl, hey. We'll see you in what? Soon. Brittany, going to see you soon, too. We're going to see you tomorrow evening. And then Paranormal Rockdown. Hey, how are you? It's so good to see you in here tonight. So tonight we have a wonderful guest. I actually don't know him very well, so this is going to be very interesting for me because I have lots of questions and I'm going to pick his brain. So I'm very excited. But first, let's do our housekeeping. So this is where you can find us. It's the Rustic Spirit. I didn't change this graphic yet. It is the Rustic Spirit. We are live on Thursdays at 8:30 p.m., live on Facebook, live on YouTube, but then we upload to Spotify and iHeartRadio by Monday morning. It will be on there. So you can find us on all of those. I think even Amazon Music, we're now on. There's a lot of different places. So go out there and please, Spotify is the main one and iHeart. So please go out and follow us over there. And then the Doss House, one of our, I can't even talk tonight. Yeah. Why don't you talk about the Doss House? Go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
One of our sponsors is the Doss House. It's a cozy place to investigate this winter. It has heat, and I will be there tomorrow evening.
And a bathroom.
And a bathroom. I'll be there tomorrow evening, and we'll be going live, so you guys can check that out. They are doing a festival in June called Creeping It Real. And it is so far lining up to be a pretty amazing festival. Here are some of the headliners. Psychic medium Patty Negri, Santiago, hiya. I'm so excited to spend some time with him. And then Beth O'Brien, my girl. She is my dancing karaoke girl. Like Gary has video evidence. And Ernie Atwell. Oh, and look, there's this person right here. Who's that? I think that's me. And Larissa.
It says slide 3 on.
I know. Well, for us, it's covered because it has the slide thingies. And then we have Larissa Rex. I don't know if is that one covered for you guys too. Can you guys see where it says slide 3, or is that just mine?
It's probably just your computer.
Another one of our sponsors. They are actually the same couple that owns the Doss House. They also own Rigsby's Bullies. And you saw them on our intro video, all these cute little puppies. I'm going to try to sell Larry a puppy tonight. I'm not sure if it's going to work. He's shaking his head no in the green room in the background. But we're going to try to sell the rest of these puppies. I think, Shauna, tell me how many left. Is it 4 or 5? And another one of our sponsors is the Maine Paranormal and Horror Convention. That's at the Augusta Civic Center, September 6th and 7th in Augusta, Maine. It is coming out to be an amazing event. There is going to be a lot of horror celebrities there, and including Jason Voorhees from, I think that's the 6th one. I'm very excited about that. And they are still looking for vendors. You can scan that little QR code right now, and you can go in and apply to be a vendor. And these are the prices, and that is for the entire weekend. So Shauna says 5 Frenchies, 1 male, 4 females. Daniel Lynn 5, and these two this is the couple that owns the Doss House, and they, excuse me, and the puppies. And then apparently he's never home to take care of a puppy. LOL. Yes, sell him a puppy, right? Okay. Lawrence is here. Hi, Lawrence. It's nice to see you. I need to get you back on. I would love to have you back on. Jerry is here. Hello. And Cheryl, I'll see you soon too. Mm-hmm. So without further ado, our guest is Larry Eissler. He is author.
Did you say that right?
I think I said it right.
Yeah, you did.
Yes. He is author, filmmaker, and historian who has Expedition Entity on Paraflix. There is a new show that just came out, and we'll talk about that. I forget. He just told me what it was, and I already forget the name of it. And he has the books that you see here, Haunted by Likes, Ghost of the Black Hawk War, and I think that is something that he was focused on for a while, and then Afterlife Anthology. It is pretty cool. Like, I want to get some of his books. I want to read it. Like I said, I want to pick his brain. So without further ado, I'm going to bring Larry on stage. First, we got to get rid of these. Hi, Larry. How are you?
How you doing?
Hi, how's it going? How's it going?
Pretty
So,
good. Long night.
just to pop into chat here, we're not going to talk about my high school track days because I was a weightlifter and I run as slow as molasses. Always supporting the fellow Larrys at all times, no matter what you do, because we're a rare bunch. And while I would love a Frenchie, I just did some filming with Brittany Bickett, and she has 2 Frenchies, and they're absolutely adorable. I am gone way too much, and I would be the worst to take care of a puppy. As the only reason why I don't have a dog now is because I'm gone too much. So I would love a
Danielle says
Frenchie,
they
but
travel great.
yeah, they do. So do wiener dogs. Wiener dogs are a little higher on my list than Frenchies, but
Frenchies are the most adorable assholes you'll ever meet.
Have you ever seen the spunk of a wiener dog? Like, just the attitude,
yes.
Yeah, adorable.
Yes.
And the fact that sometimes
they
don't actually know how far out their nose goes, and they just smack it on things. Yeah.
They don't. They're just like,
adorable.
Yes, they are. They're very spunky, and they're so cute. My neighbor used to have one, and it's just that dog. No matter what toy you gave it, it took it 3.5 seconds to get the squeaker out.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
He hated the squeaker. Like, that was like, boom. Like, they're on it. So,
yeah. And then
Jenny Davis is here.
There's no worse dog to have if you're ever like one of those people that plops on a couch, because they'll dig their way in there and hide under blankets, and they're so small they look flat. No. Little tunnelers. Little tunnel rats.
Little tunnel rats. Pamela Berry's here. She says, Larry.
Hi, Pam.
And then Jenny says, hey, it's my bestie, Larry. Jenny, I'm actually the video that I'm going to show of Larry's production has you in it.
Well, see, now I know which one it is.
And then now you know which one it is. But as soon as I saw Jenny was in there, like, oh, I got to show this one.
That's a good one. That's a really good one.
All right. Brittany says she's a throw in track, but we're not talking about track, apparently.
No.
I can't ask about track. And this is one thing I didn't do. I usually ask before we go live, is there anything you don't want me to talk about? And I didn't. So
not really. I mean, I'm pretty much an open book for the most part.
Mm-hmm.
So if it's on social media, you can talk about it.
Exactly. Yeah. So I gave a little introduction. Can you just tell people in your own words who you are, what you're doing, and plug your new little show that is coming out?
Sure. Well, I'm a filmmaker, an author, historian, paranormal researcher. I prefer paranormal researcher over investigator because I have a master's degree. And while my master is in film, my bachelor's is in history. So I figure I spent all that time and money to get my bachelor's degree to call myself a historian. I should probably use the term researcher too. So I use researcher.
I agree with that. Yeah.
If it's better.
I agree with that.
But since getting my master's and focusing more on film stuff, I tend to call myself a filmmaker more. And I get a lot more enjoyment out of it. So other than that, I'm just kind of a normal dude that likes to go into dark places with cameras and talk to the air.
We get along good.
Yeah.
I'll go.
So you definitely have to come to the Doll's House sometime. You're out in the Midwest though, right?
I am.
Yeah. If you ever make it out
to Chicago.
Okay. Oh, you're not far from Western Pennsylvania then. Not too far.
Like
Pittsburgh.
Getty's is, I think, 11 hours.
Okay.
So
it says it's 2 hours less.
Okay. So I mean, not too far, but my goodness, that's far.
Yeah. It's a great little location. It's one of the, it's a lesser known. It's a brand new location they have, and It's got a lot of, we don't know all the history yet, but we're getting there, and it's got a lot of stuff in it. It's one of
Yeah.
the original houses that were built in that town, so it's
Okay.
pretty cool.
Hi, Jenny.
Okay, Jenny,
I'll definitely have to
Jenny and
figure out
Gary.
Where's
sometime.
Jenny?
Oh yeah, by the way, my other bestie is Gary Lee. I know he was getting a little jealous there, Jenny. So you said right now you have 2 shows that you've done, and one is the Expedition entity, right?
Yes. Yeah. So
And then the
Expedition
other
Entity
one,
is more of a long form episodic. It's 3 seasons on Paraflix, and it focuses more on the lesser well-known places, haunted locations in the Midwest for Illinois and Wisconsin.
mhm,
So we're going to, you know, right now it's a little bit more well-known, but Broadhead Manor. When
yeah,
we started, it wasn't known at all. We were one of the first, if actually we were the first to investigate it, and then I believe one of, if not the first, to film there. And then since we filmed there, there's been a dozen music videos and documentaries and shows and all sorts of stuff there now.
I know. It's like all of a sudden I hear all this stuff about Broadhead Manor, and I never heard of it before, and I'm like, oh,
The open
this is
the can of
interesting.
worms.
It's a
Yeah.
pretty magical place, I'm not gonna lie. 60,000 square feet, 3 floors. Every floor has a different
Wow.
characteristics for their spirits. So, your first floor has your janitor and some of the children. And then your second floor has another one of the principals has different staff members. I believe there's a nun on the second floor. Third floor has teenagers, a second principal, a teacher. There's dozens of spirits in the building, and they all kind of keep to their levels, which means when you go to a different level, you get a whole different type of investigation now.
Okay. Yeah. Michael says it was just small head Manor.
Well, once I got there, it
I love
became
his
broad.
humor.
So
I
I
love his
stretched the
humor.
rafters.
Yeah. Oh, and the Doss is boss. You haven't even been there yet,
Doss is
Michael. You
boss.
haven't even been there yet. You got to come.
I gotta add it to my list. I'm gonna write that down actually before I forget. DOSS.
Add it there before it gets too big. I think there's only been like we investigate, and then there's only been a couple teams that investigated. So it's like it's still a virgin. It's still fresh.
Oh my goodness. Oh my. Yeah, I'll add that to my list. Knowing Jenny, she'll find a way to get me out there. I think I have 5 investigations with Jenny Davis this year. She'll send me a message, be like,
She's
"Hey, you want to
doing a
go?"
lot.
Like, where are you going and when? Here's the dates. This is where I'm going. Yeah, all right. Off I go. So she's got me tied up quite a bit. Quite a bit.
Yeah. Well, I am getting a puppy, so I'm not going to be as out as like until the dog gets a little older, fresh into this first year. This year is going to be a little slower for me.
You could get one for me, and then that way I have a puppy, but someone else will take care of it.
Oh, so like I could be like surrogate or something, or not surrogate, adopted mother or something like that.
Yeah,
Surrogated mother.
You could be the foster Frenchie.
Hey, I will do that if you pay for it.
Whoa! There goes that idea.
Yeah, there you go. Don't put your mouth.
Frenchies are. Oh my goodness.
Actually, it's not that bad for them. We can't talk about it on Facebook, but
Sure.
yeah, it's not what you think. It is really not. They are very reasonable.
Okay.
So then the second, I have ADHD. So the second thing you just was telling me about that just came out, it just premiered, right?
Yeah.
The new show.
So it was about 2 weeks ago, and it's as of right now, it's a short doc. It's for the Days of the Dead horror convention. We did some filming there in November, and we focused on the event attendees. And whenever you go to a conference or a convention and they do a video, they always focus on the celebrities. Cool, great.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, let's talk to the celebrities if you can. But I didn't want to do that. I wanted to focus on the people that are there to talk about why they were there. What cool thing happened to them while we're there? Who did they meet? What signature do they get? And that's really what we focused mostly on. And we got a lot of really great interviews where people were super excited to talk about this encounter they had. Or, this one guy, graphic designed his own poster and was talking about how the cast of Terrifier just loved it. were blown away by how well of a job he did, and then they all signed it for him. You know, like these kind of encounters. Yeah, is this guy a celebrity? No, but it's really cool to hear him talk about how special it was to him. So with that, I think we
Thank
had
you, Danielle.
I think we had 30 interviews.
Danielle says your eye makeup looks amazing. And so I was like, I'm looking at you guys like, do you guys have eye makeup on? But thank you, Danielle. I'm assuming you're talking about me.
If you can see my eyes, that's about it. I'm using my glasses to cover the bags.
You can't see his eyes right now. So.
Yeah. Mine are pretty squinty too, because I got the light on my face.
Yeah, see the light.
It's the light. Well, he's also been up since 4 a.m. So.
Oh my. Yeah.
I don't think you go to sleep until 4 a.m.
That's about right.
Usually when you message me.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, sometimes I go to sleep at 3, because I have to take my son to school at 7. So, you know, sometimes I get 3 hours, sometimes I get 4 hours. But yeah, Days of the Dead is really cool. It's really the first decent sized thing that I did that's not paranormal related. So it kind of took me outside of my comfort zone, and I really like that. So I did that in collaboration with a company called Tribe 3. They're out of Chicago, and they liked that video so much they made me a permanent part of their company. And now I'm going to continue that style of video going forward for other things.
That's awesome. I love that.
So
and I know
really
I've done a couple. Yeah, I've done a couple horror conventions, and it really is different. The horror celebrities really do like to showcase the fans.
Oh yeah,
like that's a really big thing. Did you notice that? Yeah.
Yeah, one thing that people probably really don't realize though is, especially for a larger convention, the paranormal is not like other conventions. You know, if you go to, I don't know, let's say the Bash, right? And you want to talk to Dave Schrader and you want to record Dave Schrader for a few minutes for a video, Dave is fine with it. Dave is like, oh, absolutely, yeah. When you go to one of these events with like, I don't know, Alice Cooper or some of these major horror icons, their contracts have to state that they're allowed to do that. If it doesn't state that, they're not allowed to do it, and their handler won't let them.
Yeah.
So it's actually very different compared to all the paranormal stuff that I've been doing.
Yeah. Yeah, so, it is. It's very different.
Yeah, I would love to talk to Alice Cooper too. Maybe next time.
Yeah. I know.
Please.
So as we're talking about your just touch the glove, right? Just touch the glove. As we're talking about this, your shows, I want to give people a little teaser and show them a little teaser of Expedient Entity. Jenny, you're still here, right? Okay. I'm gonna have to share screen. I hope I can share. Hopefully we can hear the audio too. Okay. Can you guys hold on? Can you guys see that? Did I lose it?
You might not bear the mic yet while it's
on. Not yet.
I don't think so.
Hear him. She paused it. Could you hear it when she started it?
All right. You guys can see that, right? All right. Let's see.
Oh, I can hear it now.
Okay. All right. We're good.
Can you see it?
He's not going to be able to.
We decided, since we couldn't open the haunted house for the past 2 years, that we would change the second floor.
Yeah.
It's very cold over here. Is that you?
Yes.
Now, the other paranormal groups that come in are now experiencing different things getting stirred up, different things getting moved.
That was the principal.
Maybe he just likes a lot of control and a lot of order.
Throughout the different boxes and stuff, he wants to be called sir.
And I think I'm going to pass out.
They have her leave. Don't fall, Jen.
I'm trying not to. Let me grab me.
Quit affecting my team members.
I'm so lightheaded right now.
Okay, I gotta get out of here.
All right, yes, go, Jen.
Just said yes.
All right.
I feel like I'm gonna vomit.
I needed to tell you guys that, and then I had to get the fuck out of there because I was getting dizzy, and then it was like uncomfortable. It was almost like somebody was trying to like come like get inside of me, if that makes sense. And I'm genuinely scared. I'm shaking, and
Wow.
and I know she was.
Oh, yeah.
I could feel that radiating off of her.
Yeah,
Still one of my
that's
favorite
intense.
teasers today.
Yeah, that's
So
when I looked at them all, and
that
it
is our.
wasn't just because it was Jenny.
Well, sure. So that is our big Telly Award-winning episode for Expedition Entity, filmed at Broadhead Manor, and there's a lot of stories that are kind of behind the scenes for that episode. So number one, Jenny Davis was not supposed to be there, and we were not supposed to film that weekend. We actually had another event that weekend that got canceled last minute, and she was already in the area with flight and hotel. And I'm just like, hey, you want to come film? And she's like, yeah. So I went and picked her up and slapped her in front of a
Jenny be like,
camera,
"Yeah."
and she said, okay, I'll do my thing. And her part worked out great. The other side of it, Jenny Coles, who is the taller blonde woman, that was probably one of the most intense investigations we've ever had with her. If you look at the video, she's a little more on the alternative side. She's got multicolored hair. She's got the nose piercing, a lot of tattoos, wears leather. Where with that, the principal is a lot more authoritative and strict. So, talking about it over the years, we've come to the conclusion that he probably just didn't like Jenny. She would be more like the troublemaker from his time. So he probably picked on her a little bit. So, throughout the whole night, she was just feeling nauseous. In the episode, the first session she does is when her and Jenny Davis are at the table and Jen's holding the rods. After she ends, she gets up and dry heaves because she's gonna throw up.
Ooh.
But she walks off camera, so the shot goes to black, but she forgot to stop recording on her microphone. So her microphone records her going, "Ugh!" and in the middle of it, she goes, "Sorry, Larry." Ugh! And I'm like, okay, we're keeping this. So
of course, you have
that's
to.
in the episode. That's in the episode. And then in the principal's office there, it doesn't really come across very well because normally when we film sitting down. Everything is stationary. Everything happens in front of the camera. Well, Jen had to walk off camera because she was going to pass out, right? And then she kind of stumbled forward, and it's off camera, but she goes, "Larry, catch me." So in the room that we were in with the L-shaped couch, there's a TV stand across from the couch. And the only way for me to be in a blind spot was this little tiny corner next to the TV stand because there's cameras going this way. And as the director, I'm not supposed to be in the shot. I'm there running the cameras and trying to squeeze in. But I also happened to be in the only spot that could have caught Jen when she passed out, because if I wasn't there, her face would have hit the corner of the entertainment center.
Oh,
And
that's intense.
she could have legitimately died.
Oh,
So, and then getting her out of there, and she felt better when she was out of the room. It was a very intense investigation for her, and by sheer miracle, we were able to document all of it and turn it into this really wonderful episode that won the Telly Award and a bunch of other film festival awards, and kind of helped catapult me to where I am now. So just wild that it happened an hour and a half from my house.
And not even purposely.
No, we're on season 3 of the
weren't.
show, and everything is, the same old. We do things very uniformly, so it's all very like structured. So the way that we would do the show is we'd film in 10-minute segments. So everything has to exist in that 10 minutes. If it's before or after and the cameras are cut, it doesn't count. So sometimes, like when Jen almost passed out, that 10 minutes gets extended. But most of the time when nobody almost dies, we keep it pretty tight. So we're just,
nobody almost dies.
Sounds like me.
Nobody almost dies.
Yeah.
So things are, pretty hunky-dory, and all of a sudden, oh boy, things start falling off the rails pretty quickly, and just it turns into this great episode. I'm so happy that we were able to not only get everything done and not have anybody walk away with any lasting effects.
Yeah.
But everybody in there has been back to the building since and has no problems investigating.
Okay. So you guys were meant to be there that night. I really feel like you do. You guys, it's just the way it worked out.
Yeah, I think so too. I think so too. And like I said, JD Davis wasn't even supposed to be there. She was supposed to be at an event that got canceled super last minute. Like, I think it was a few days or the week of. And she was already stuck coming here. So I'm like, hey, you want to come to a haunted building with us? And now she's obsessed with it. Absolutely obsessed. So.
Yeah.
Oh,
She
God.
talks about it all the time. That's how I found out about it.
Yeah. The comment she just put in chat.
Okay. And yeah, I just saw that.
So
Jenny
we're filming during the
Marco
day.
Polo with his sisters.
Yeah, we're filming during the day. We're doing the interviews, right? Like Bill sitting in the chair, talking all the stuff he talked. And I have my headphones on. I'm listening to the audio, and I hear like stuff from the hallway behind me. And I'm like, what the hell's going on in the hallway? There's ghosts out there or something. Like, we need to do something about this. So, we finish up. I take the headphones off, and it's these two playing Marco Polo with the spirits. I'm like, what the F are you two doing right now? You need to go downstairs. We're filming. Go away. Oh, man.
How do you play Marco Polo with the spirits? So they're saying Marco, waiting for the spirits to say Polo?
So I didn't catch that part of the game. I do know that Bill will play tag with one of the female spirits, a little girl named Elizabeth. He'll keep change in his pocket. And he walks around the building, and when he gets close to her, she'll rattle the change in his pocket.
Oh,
So that's how they play tag. I'm guessing Marco Polo is them walking around, and when they get close, they make a noise. They knock on something. They make Jenny Davis throw up. So, because that happened the next time we went. Let me tell you. So remember, Jenny Davis is in the room when Jen gets just beat up by the principal, right? Like, she was sitting right there, and she got nauseous. So the next time I'm up there,
you
with
could
her,
see it on her face. Like, you just see she just looked pale, and I'm like, she doesn't look good.
Oh yeah. So we're up there with Mike Agliano and I think Josh Purvis, and I think there's one more, and they're checking the building out, and Jenny's there, and we're in the principal's office. And remember, she knows what happened last time. She saw Jen get sick. She felt sick. What does Jenny Davis do? She goes, "Are you gonna break me?" To the principal. And after getting a piece of plaster thrown at her by not a human, she then goes and throws up 3 times in the bathroom.
Okay. Yeah. So Jenny, we don't provoke the spirits.
Yeah, we don't
unless
provoke
you
the
want to bring
spirits
them home.
that can make you sick. You already know.
Yes, exactly. So I have a question about Jenny, because you've investigated with her and I have too. So we actually, you should have wore the shirt. I had Gary and Jenny shirts made. One says, Gary says, "Where's Jenny?" with a little like location thing on it. And Jenny says, "Where's Gary?" Because when we go investigate with them too, they disappear.
Yeah.
Like, does Jenny do that to you? Just where's Jenny? Where's Gary? Where'd they go?
Usually all the places we went to, Jenny's been pretty much right beside me or whoever I'm with. We just did Jericho, I want to say in October, which is the Jericho Haunted Trinity here in Wisconsin. And we were with a group of 10. And me and another investigator named Nikki Wilson from Anik Paranormal, we split off to kind of do our own thing. And Jenny was with us the entire night. Like, didn't hang out with her mom, didn't hang out with anybody else. She was with us the whole time. And there were 3 buildings to explore. So if she wanted to disappear, she had plenty of opportunity.
Yeah.
But
maybe she just feels comfortable in the places we were at, because she would just,
could be.
And Gary does the same thing. He finds the darkest hole and corner to get into.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know that episode, I think, Ghost Hunters, where they put what's his name in the closet where you really couldn't barely fit? That would be Gary. That would be what Gary would want to do.
So I did that. I did a little unintentional 50-minute project for Old Baraboo Inn. That came out a couple months ago. Still trying to figure out what I want to do with that. So it was only supposed to be like a 5-minute video, like just a little, hey, I'm here,
Yeah.
look at this cool stuff. And it turned into like a 50-minute video of us like documenting the investigations and stuff. And if you don't know anything about the Old Baraboo Inn, it's an old gangster saloon slash bar slash whatever you want
Oh,
to
I
call it.
love gangster places.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
And the spirit of Al Capone and I can't remember his last name. It's Jack something. Two big Chicago gangsters. They're there
Okay.
all the time. So they have the building of the bar itself, and then there's a brothel upstairs. The brothel has brothel spirits. I was
Oh.
warned. They told me, hey, you're a dude, and there are brothel spirits here. They're gonna touch you. And I was like, cool, we're gonna get on film. Was
That sounds like
not
you do.
ready. I was not ready. My goodness. So the simplest way to explain it is I was brothelized. So we did 3 sessions in this building. The first was in like the sitting room, living room area, and I'm with Nikki Wilson again, and she's literally like offering me up like a piece of meat to these spirits. She's just like, here's a piece of steak, come get him. And the spirits are totally going along with it. They're like, yeah, bring him to the back room, bring him to the bedroom. I'm like, ladies, slow down. We have a long night ahead of us here. Let's not put the cart in front of the horse. So we get to the second session. It's in the second room, which is the children's room. You know, brothel women, some of them have kids. You can't be in the main bedroom. You got to be in the kids' room. And the owner, Shelly, always has this really weird feeling about the closet in that room. So I'm like, well, we're going to investigate in the closet. Well, I open the closet up and it's like me sized. And I'm like, oh, what are we going to do in this closet? I'm tight in here. So I'm sitting there thinking about it and I'm like, it'd be really cool. And it worked somehow. What if we did an Estes where I'm inside the closet with the headphones and the eye covers on, with the door closed, and somebody else, in this case Nikki, is outside of the closet on the other side of the room asking questions. And it worked. And not only were the answers I was getting spot on to the questions that Nikki was asking, Nikki started laughing at me. And then a second later, I start hearing laughter on the headphones. And then it cuts back to her in the video to her laughing even harder. So, and then they're like rubbing up on me and touching me. And I'm just like, they're touching my arm again. They're touching my back. They're touching my neck now. And she ends the session again with, so do you want me to bring Larry into the bedroom? Are you ladies ready for him? And I'm like, I'm watching this and I'm like, damn, Nikki, are you my pimp now? Are you trying to pimp me out to the spirits?
That's what it sounds like.
Well, she did. She did. So we end the night in the main master bedroom.
Hey, you were the trigger object.
Oh, I was. I certainly was. And the rule is, these are hardworking ladies. They deserve to make their money. So if you put a couple dollars on the bedstand, you're going to get serviced. So I put $3 bills, I put them in front of the camera, like, here's my payment. I put it on the table and I laid on the bed. And let me tell you, I could feel 3 distinct sets of hands all over me. Like they on my chest, on my arms, and I'm sitting there, I'm like, this is weird. Like, I can feel the pressure.
I want to put you on the bed.
Oh yeah, you'll have a good time, Gary. Trust me. So yeah. It wasn't bad until about halfway through when the upper massage was done. And it was time to start the lower massage. And now all of a sudden I am jumping left and right. I'm just like, Jesus, your hands are cold. And I was not prepared. They were prepared. I was not ready. So, the funny thing is, like, again, I'm just investigating. I'm completely oblivious to the fact that I also set the cameras up in the room. and I'm recording myself getting ghost groped.
Yeah,
So now
exactly.
I'm going back to edit it, and I'm like, I can't cut this.
Where's Michael? Oh, for the comments on this one, because he can say it what I want to say, and I do.
I can only
But
imagine
that's
what he
like
would say at the moment.
paranormal porn.
It's pretty close. It's pretty close. I'm like the long lost Booth brother. So yeah, this video was only
can't.
supposed to be 5 minutes, and we had so many amazing responses. I got groped numerous times. I can't cut that out. I can't leave it on the cutting room floor. So my 5-minute video became 50. And like for 8 minutes, you just see me go, "Oh Jesus, watch your hands, watch your hands." It was a whole thing I was not ready for. But I'm going back in three weeks. There's another event they're doing up there. Well, this time I'm not gonna tell them, "Hey, I'm fair game. Here's some money." I'm gonna say, "Ladies, calm yourself. You don't have to work tonight. Take the night off. Don't touch me, please."
Yes. Don't touch me.
So
Please don't touch me.
don't touch my no
I know,
square.
because you hear a lot about women getting groped. I have been groped at the Hoover House.
Okay.
You know, there was a bar in the basement, and
Right.
so you get a lot of the bar crowd in there, and they had women that would come in, and so when the women's down there, I got touched, groped, and a couple other women have gotten groped in the basement there. So,
Sure.
but you don't hear about the men getting groped as much.
No, well, you got to go to the brothels. Apparently, got to go to the brothels. So
Yeah,
women play hard to get.
Yeah, well,
not brothel women.
Well, not the brothel.
No,
not if you got money.
When they want it, they go and get it. Let me tell you, and they're not
as long as
shy.
the cash is there. Yeah.
Oh yeah. I paid. They earned their money, and I believe I said something along the lines of, ladies, you could be done now. You have earned your payment. No more. Done. So yeah, that's another video that I've got. It's currently on my YouTube. It doesn't have a home yet. I haven't really figured out what I want to do with it
I'm
at
gonna
the
have
moment.
to go watch that one.
Yeah. It's
yeah.
That was a wild experience. Just wild. The situations I get myself into. But that story stemmed from, you talking about being in the closet, and when we did this through the closet door Estes, like some of the stuff that I was getting was direct responses to questions. Straight on. And then I was talking about my arm getting touched, and then Nikki has one of those cell phone, what are they called? The one with the words. I'm drawing a blank. The Ovilus.
Oh,
a cell phone version of the Ovilus.
I think it might be.
Yeah, I think it might be Spirit Talker, but on the app,
it's Spirit Talker. Most of them use Spirit Talker. Yeah.
Yeah. On the app, she's just running it, and right when I go, they're touching my arm, her phone says limb, and she's like, "Well, that's kind of weird."
Oh wow.
And then in the bedroom, as I'm getting felt up, her phone goes sex, and I'm like, all right, I see how this is going.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
It was an experience and a half.
So I was going to ask you, what was your favorite experience that you had? But was that your most like, what are your most intense experience? Or
so, and it's intense in a different way. Let's put it that way. So, I've never been touched so much during one investigation at one time. Normally, it's kind of like a fleeting touch.
You really
like,
can't.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's so much you can't deny it. You know what I mean? It's not like, oh,
right.
Was I touched? Like, it's so much. Like, you're like,
yeah. And sometimes the touch is kind of like the spider web feeling or the cold feeling. This was pressure. Like I could feel hands on my body, and I'm like,
yeah,
what is going on? So that was intense for one reason, and then there was a side time we were at Broadhead Manor. It was just Dan, Jen, and I, Jenny Coles, and it was actually her first time to the building. We were kind of breaking her into it and being like, hey, this is the spot we go all the time, so we should introduce you to it because we know we're going to film there in a couple months. So we're in the janitor's boiler room area, and Dan and I are asking questions, we're going back and forth, and I'm standing in front of the door you're not supposed to stand in front of. It's his private space. It's the sump room. You're not allowed to go in there. Only Bill can, and only sometimes. Otherwise, the janitor does not like it. And I'm standing in front of his door. So the janitor also doesn't like women asking questions. He's just an old timey spirit. He's kind of a crotchety old dude. You know, he's kind of stuck in his ways. You ain't gonna change him. He's been dead for like what, 90 years. So whatever. So Jen starts asking questions, and within probably a minute of her first question, I feel hands on my shoulders do this. And every muscle in my back and my arms lock up. Everything all the hair is standing up, and I'm just like, I don't like this. I don't like this. I don't like this. That's all I could say is I don't like this. Definitely caught me off guard. It didn't hurt. It's just like all the muscles tensed up and we're like stuck. And I'm just like, and then eventually, like, you know, I kind of snapped out of it and we're like, okay, we're gonna leave now. Thank you so much for talking with us. We're out of here, I promise. And then we went and investigated the rest of the building. So that was pretty intense too, but for the most part, you know, I don't really have anything that's too intense. I got bit one time. I can say that.
Okay.
That was new. I was at
I got bit on my leg once. Yeah.
So this was at another episode of Expedition Entity for the Freeport Masonic Temple, which is an active Mason temple. Like they still do all their rituals and their stuff there. And we're in the auditorium stage area asking questions. And I'm talking to two veteran spirits that are sitting side by side in the theater seats. And on the thermal, there's this big cold zone all around me, including the two chairs to the sides of me. And we're just talking. And I guess this other spirit came up, the spirit of a little boy. And I didn't want to talk to him. I was talking to the veterans. And he didn't like that. So the SB7 goes, bite. And then on the camera, you watch me go, and then look at my arm. And I'm like, did you just bite me? I didn't even hear the response. The other investigator did. And she took her flashlight out, and there's a little circle on my arm right there. I got bit by a ghost because I was ignoring him.
Said bite and then bit you.
And it bit me.
Or bit him, then said it.
Well,
It showed up.
And it's like I got bit by a ghost.
Yeah.
So
well, I got bit at this it's a restaurant up near us, and it's haunted, and lady likes her little girl haunted ghost that's there. A little girl was she was killed somehow, and I think maybe on a horse or something. It used to be a horse barn, and now it's a restaurant. I don't know. But the little girl kind of hangs around, and she likes having her there. She's like, in the evening, she makes her a meal like this and sits the stuff down for her, and says, come sit on my lap and stuff like that. So this little girl spirit has been there for so long, and it's kind of feral is what I picked up on when I was in there. And I was talking about that, and I was trying to like, you know, maybe it's time we let this spirit go, you know. And the little girl didn't like that. So I'm literally walking out into the car, and because I was during the day and the restaurant was open, I was just going to kind of just like view the place and just do a walkthrough. And and my leg is hurting so bad. It's so bad. And so I pull down I had leggings on, thank goodness, pulled it out, and I'm sitting in the car, and right on my thigh, it was like this little kid bite on my thigh. I got a picture of it and everything. And like, that's probably my most intense experience. Yeah. Like,
after telling my three intense stories, it makes us sound like I'm a paranormal masochist. Like my first encounter was like a rather rough, whatever you want to call it. My second encounter was a rough massage. My third encounter was getting bit. Like, what's this guy do with the spirits? What's going on there?
So you like to be touched?
Apparently so. Apparently so.
You ever notice that some people are like, they have the theme when they go investigating, like, I always get touched. Like you say, you always get touched. Someone might always get like things thrown at them, or some people might always hear banging. Like, it does seem like it follows you. Like wherever you go, you're probably forever going to be the person that gets touched in places.
So I'm actually not the one that gets touched.
Oh,
And
really?
that's what's weird about it. Like, I don't get touched. I'm the one that the spirit stands behind because
Okay.
I always have the camera. So I always feel the presence behind me. I swear they're looking at the monitor with me. They're like,
Mhm.
what are you doing? What's
We're like,
going
what are you
on?
doing?
Oh, there's Bob.
What's
Look at
that thing
that.
you
Oh,
got
you guys
there?
can't see him. Well, that sucks for you guys. So like I always feel them behind me, and usually it's on the side that my monitor's on, this left side here. So
Yeah.
it's like I'm their entertainment. That's what I am. They just like to watch
Yeah.
what's on the little screen.
Mhm.
So yeah.
I wanted to ask you a question. You are, you said you have a master's degree in film and a bachelor's in history.
Yes.
How did you get into the paranormal? Like, why is that? Like, is that why you went to film school, or was it because you were already into paranormal? Like, where did that come from?
So that's a very long story. I started in the paranormal, give or take, about 2009. I just came off my deployment, and I was real big into photography and stuff like that. And I loved the show Ghost Hunters. I'm not afraid to admit it. I got into the paranormal because of a TV show. It's okay. Most of us did.
Same here. Same here.
It's
I'm just not
okay.
going to say mine because nobody likes it anymore.
Ooh.
Well, that was good back then.
You know, I'm not
Ooh.
saying I know better now. It was different in the beginning.
It was.
It was
Yeah.
it was different in the beginning.
Mhm.
And then I
Once
stayed because of
once a certain cast member left, everything changed.
yeah. Yes.
Yes.
Exactly. You're exactly right on that one.
Yeah. So so the first year
Left
or
or
so,
kicked out.
well,
Never. We won't
now
know.
we know it's kicked out. Now we know.
Yeah.
So otherwise we suspected. But my first year in the
Yeah.
paranormal was actually to prove the paranormal was fake. I failed miserably. I did a bad job.
Most do.
Yeah. Like I said, I did a lot of photography and a lot of photo editing, and that was around the time that stupid phone app came out, where that little girl in the plaid dress would always show up in pictures. So it's like I have like the list of all the photos, and I just be like, hey, there's your ghost, by the way. It's on this graphic. And someone kept getting pissed about, I'm always poo-pooing on their evidence. So he's like, we're gonna take you out on an actual ghost hunt. You're gonna do the whole thing with us, and you're gonna see this is real. Okay, buddy. Yeah. All right. And then he goes, yeah, we'll go to Joliet. And I'm like, oh, that's actually not that far from me. All right. Uh-oh.
Mm-hmm.
So I went, and that night I saw my first shadow figure block out the light of a doorway, my first cold
Mhm.
spot, my first time getting touched, my first time hearing an actual voice that wasn't in the room. And
Mhm.
I didn't know what to do with that information now. So
Mhm.
a short amount of time later, I just happened to be doom scrolling on Facebook, and this dude named Dan Norvell was doing a cemetery crawl. Again, like not that far from me. So I'm like, oh, I'll
Yeah.
go check that out. And
Yeah.
he and I stayed up till 4 a.m. talking about the paranormal. And from that moment, it was February 2010 until January 2024, he and I exclusively worked together. So we did the show together. We
Okay.
wrote the books together. We did a lot of stuff together until he retired from the paranormal. So
Cool.
it started off disproving it. We went to trying to scientifically prove it. We have a
Mhm.
theory book that we don't talk about. It's self-published. The grammar's bad. But the theories in there are sound. The theories are from 2012, and we talk about a lot of theories that people have since built up on
Mhm.
and corroborated and said, yeah, this is actually a thing. So
Yeah.
the theories are good. It's just the writing was bad.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah. I'm not a good writer.
after we kind of got tired of trying to prove it scientifically, because either you believe or you don't. Like,
Yeah.
why am I trying to convince you? We stopped trying to convince people, and we instead decided to focus on telling stories instead. And I've been
Mhm.
doing that this way ever since now. Now
Yeah.
it's about telling stories about the time that I got groped at Old Baraboo Inn.
And that's what people want to hear. They want to hear the stories. Like it really is. Like
Yeah.
instead of just trying to prove that it's real, they want to hear the stories. I love hearing the stories. I took some history classes. It was heavy in history in my college because I always would take the history classes.
Sure.
So I love hearing as a medium, when I go into a place of just imagining and seeing like these spirits living their lives like they did back then. It's just the energy in that. I love it. I love the history.
So I have a fun history college story.
Okay.
Dan and I first started our research study into the Black Hawk War around, I think it was 2015, give or take.
Mhm.
Just starting with investigating the local locations and trying to branch out from there. Everything was really focused on that and trying to connect things together, right? Like, hey, this person was in this battle and then they died over here. Let's try to connect the two events with one spirit.
Okay.
And then I started to go to college. And I'm getting my history degree, and some of the history courses the Black Hawk War fit into already. So I'm like, hey, I know this is a Western history class, and you said that everything west of the Mississippi counts. And I said, but the Sauk tribe in 1932 moved across the Mississippi and then came back to Illinois to conduct a war. Does that still count for this class? And they're like, oh yeah, that's fine. Go ahead. So most of my history classes, I was able to finagle a subject that I wrote a book about for my papers. And the funny story is, my university was 40 minutes from the first battle of the war. And most of the teachers that were grading my papers had to research the war to grade my paper. And that is a badge of honor. I will carry that badge of honor until the day I die.
Yeah, but it was 40 minutes from where the college was, and they still didn't know. Like, I've never heard of it. I can say that until I read the synopsis of your book. Now I'm interested, and now I'm like, oh, I'm going to look into that because, having Native American blood, I like to read some of these stories about the history between the fighting and the wars, because there was a lot of them.
Oh yeah,
that happened all over. Yeah,
and the Black Hawk War really was one of the final nails in the Trail of Tears coffin. It was one of the last major skirmishes before the government went, okay, you know what? All of them, they got to go. We're done.
Yeah.
No more war.
Yeah.
They all got to go. After they paraded Black Hawk around for like a year and a half as a captured celebrity, they got to get their kicks too, right? Oh yeah. He was on parade for about a year and a half, and they made him dress in Western clothing because he was conquered. Like he's conquered now. He's no longer the Native American war chief. He's our prisoner. And then when he was released and sent back to Iowa, he never wore his Native American full garb again. He always wore Western clothing.
My grandmother, we don't know for sure because there's no record of it, but the stories and histories and things I picked up on was taken from her tribe and raised in a farm in Maryland. She shows up at 2 years old. We have no other record. Like there's no birth certificate. There's no nothing. Like she just shows up in a farm in Maryland at 2 years old. And, but we always had stories of being a Cherokee tribe. And then every year, like every Sunday we used to make this breakfast, and it never occurred to me until I started getting friends in the Native American, and doing like powwows and stuff, that this bread that we made, fried bread that we made, I was like, oh, wait, this is fried bread that we make.
Yeah.
So it was a recipe that was passed down. And so it really touches me deep. I actually do want to read this book because it really touches me deep, because I have both, I am Native American, but she was married to an Irishman. Sure. American Irish, but yeah.
For our book, if we went really, really deep into the history, it would have been like a 500-page book. So we decided to go half history, half paranormal. You have enough of the information to figure out what happened and then how the paranormal activity correlates to the history.
Oh, that's cool. So that's what I like.
It's not a super difficult read because of that. You get just enough to go, hey, wait a minute. I actually kind of want to look more into this now, and then go off on your own adventure. But a lot of people, a lot of the reviews of people that talked about it with us, they like that it's something where they can sit down for an hour, read a chapter or so, and then put it down and come back later, because each battle is its own separate chapter. So, you get time to
so
digest
I
the
am going
information.
to stop us. I'm just going to stop us real quick for a sponsor break. I show a video halfway through. It's about 5 minutes, and then we'll come back on, and we're usually on to about 10:15. So if you got to go to the bathroom, hold on. You are Midwest, so
Central. So
it's
you
9:30 here.
Yeah. Okay. Yep.
So we're going to be 5 minutes, but you got to go to the bathroom. We're going to go to the bathroom. I'll play the video just for our sponsors, and then we'll be right back on. Everybody, please stick around. And it is the Doss House video, but now I'm like, I made the video, and you're like this. I'm really like, I'm a little nervous for you to see the video.
She made her own intro. Did you like the intro?
Yeah,
I did like
pick out all the mistakes.
I do the intro and the outro for Jenny Davis's show too. So
yeah, she told me. So we might need to talk. Gary and I want to start filming more of a Bigfoot, and we're going to collect stories of Bigfoot and then go out and film. So I might need some tips and tricks. But yeah, if you have any any suggestions in this video, but it's okay. I don't want to hear it. But go ahead, take a break. We're going to take a break. Everybody, we'll be back in 5 minutes, and please go ahead and watch this video that we're about to present. Oh, hold on.
Oh,
it's okay. There it is. Okay. It should be coming on. Hello and welcome back to Becoming Enchanted with the Rustic Spirit. I don't know why this video is still up. I gotta remove it. Okay, there we go.
I did catch the end of the video.
Okay.
I saw a couple slides and then it ended because I had to grab a water. So the
No,
one
it's
thing
fine.
that I caught that is a peeve of mine that other people don't have is when you have this really beautiful background. Can you bring the video back up?
Yeah, I can.
And go to the last slide, all the way at the very end.
Right there?
Yeah, that's fucking beautiful. That's an amazing shot.
Okay.
So, but it's kind of ruined by a black box.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean? Like,
Because I
that's a
put the
beautiful photo.
okay.
But the black box around the logo is like, oh, it's
Well,
kind of
that's their
slapped on
logo.
there.
So I should
Right.
probably take the remove the logo out or
Keep the
remove
logo,
background.
remove the background, and then give the
Okay.
logo a slight outline in black so that the logo punches out, but you don't
Okay.
get the blockiness of the square.
Okay.
Because
Okay.
then you still have this really beautiful house, cabin, maybe house.
It was a cabin at one point, yeah.
Okay. And then because the hard edges of the box, your eyes are drawn to that.
Okay.
And not in a good way. Because it kind of seems out of place. You know what I'm saying? Whereas
Yes,
if you
that makes sense.
center up the logo and then just give it an outline, then
Okay.
it kind of fits better.
So kind of like if you look up here in the corner of my Rustic Spirit, it used to have a box and I switched it and I just put this little black outline around it.
Same
like
thing.
This little black circle. Okay. So
Same
do
thing.
something similar to that. Okay.
Yep.
Okay, that makes sense.
And like I said, it's a peeve of mine. Not everybody has it, but
No, I get it.
I see the same thing on like event posters, and I'm like, why did you keep the black box?
Yeah.
Or it'll be like no box, one box, no box, no box. I'm like, remove the box, remove the only box. What are you doing?
Yeah, I get that. Yeah, I'm actually my first degree started my first degree. I didn't complete it. Was in mass comm,
Okay.
but this was back in the 90s, and I mean, we literally edited photos with a little reel.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys still do that. And that's all digital now.
It's
So
all digital
coming
now.
into
Yeah.
this world, and I'm trying to I have video after video, like Gary out in the woods and doing Bigfoot stuff, and I'm so lost when it comes to editing now. I mean, I know the basics and the theory of it, but it's like, how do I do this like here? And like, there's so many different programs and like trying to figure it out. And
There
I don't know,
are a lot of programs, but a lot of them are very similar because they all come from the linear editor design, to where like slicing reels, it's all on a straight line. You know, it's the same thing except digital now. So the only thing that differs is all the bells and whistles. Like Adobe has all these amazing bells and whistles. But if you use something like Movie Maker, no bells and whistles, but similar design. So,
I use Hit Film, so
okay, that one I don't know about. I have Adobe, DaVinci Resolve, and then I use CapCut on my phone. Actually, you could do a lot with CapCut on your phone. Like that's actually a pretty good program.
Yeah, I do have that.
So Jenny Davis gave me 2 videos. They're 2 little like 15-second videos for unturned pages. Like one of them's like Dave Schrader being like, "You need to watch Unturned Pages on Sunday at 8 p.m." It's how Dave is. And then the other one is Shane and Josh. And the video by itself is fine, but it's kind of like meh. Like it's meh.
Yeah.
So I help put a border around it and all the flashy things and CapCut. It's all done in CapCut. Like once you realize how to unlock the parts in CapCut for like the pro settings, you could do a lot of really cool things on your cell phone, laying in bed. It's great.
Yeah. And because this is where everybody watches things nowadays. They don't watch it on TV as much, and they don't watch like on the computer. It's like this is it. This is where people are going to be watching things.
You have to make sure, and that even comes for like YouTube film stuff too. Like you have to make sure it sounds good.
Sorry,
oh
my puppy.
Goodness.
Whose puppy?
Oh, it went away. It's my background.
Oh,
it's your puppy. I bought you a puppy. I bought him a puppy for Christmas.
And then stole it.
Straight.
No, I didn't steal it yet.
Yet. Not yet. Not yet.
Yeah, not yet. It depends on who the puppy is going to love, is all I have to say. We don't know who the puppy is going to love.
If that were the case, all of my parents' dogs would be my dogs because I'm the distributor of puppy treats.
Oh,
Wait a
there you
minute.
go.
Oh,
If it's my dog, then I
I'm
get
bad.
to train it and stuff. If you're gonna take over, then you're gonna train it.
I
and do all
told
the
you
good
I was
stuff.
going to do all the training for you, and then you could have the dog.
No, you
But
said
now you're
you
like-
said you would take care of it.
I said I would take. I bought it. I paid all the money for it. I bought all the stuff for it,
It's my gift.
and I said I will take care of the puppy phase, and then you can have the dog. Because I didn't think he'd be okay with this. I
Sure.
thought I was going to die.
Sure.
I thought I was going to be murdered.
You definitely overplayed your hand.
And then I handed him this puppy, and he's fallen in love.
We almost ended up too.
And almost ended up with 2
That's
puppies.
right.
And I'm
You
like,
took- You should have
who
came
is-
in much
who is this
lower and then
man?
worked your way up.
I'm like, who is this man? And what did you do with my husband?
It's those puppy eyes. Let me tell you, they get you. They get you every time.
That's what he did. That's what he said.
It's mom.
It's mom. He's in love with mom. It's
Mom.
Oh.
yeah.
So yeah.
He connected with the mom, and yeah, that was pretty much it's over. It was over from there. So
She doesn't know this, but she scammed behind me to get this dog. But what she doesn't know
He
is
was
we
gonna
were
get
getting
one
one
anyway.
anyhow.
and now I got stuck paying for it all.
Yep.
That's right. That's
I
right.
didn't get the one I actually wanted. I
You
wanted
hear that,
the other
Shauna,
one,
right? But Ghost is staying in the family, in the paranormal family.
but-
So okay.
That's what you call a skilled
Anyway,
operator.
So right, I know, and here I am because we went a couple weekends ago, New Year's to investigate the doll's house. We did an investigation there, and it's Shauna's at Shauna's house, and I'm all nervous. I'm so nervous, and that was when I'm introducing this puppy. Well, he's like picking out a puppy while we're there the whole weekend, and he's waiting for me to ask. He's waiting
Yeah.
for me to ask, can we get a puppy, please? And I didn't ask, and I handed him one, and he's like, oh, well, okay.
Easy.
I know. So, but we were talking about your books. We were talking about the Ghost
Yes.
of Black Hawk War, and it's kind of like in between history and the paranormal outputs of that history.
Yeah.
The
and the
other
book,
book is
the book
Haunted.
focuses-
Good.
So for the Black Hawk War, that only focuses on Illinois too.
Okay.
The Illinois side are more documented and easier to find. By the time they
Okay.
got into southern Wisconsin, they were already in full retreat and kind of just getting picked off as they ran. So
Okay.
a lot of the events happened mid-run. So you've got Native Americans that are just falling out dead on a trail that
Okay.
isn't really documented well. So there are less battles and they're a little harder to get to.
Okay.
So we're currently working on the Wisconsin part right now, and hopefully within the next year or so, we'll get all the investigations done and then get that into a second edition of the book. Which,
Oh, that's awesome.
if you know the Midwest, you have a very limited window to be able to do this stuff.
And I don't know the Midwest. Well, I know the weather. Are you talking about the
Yeah.
weather?
Well, the weather. So, like right now, starting in November, it's wet and then it's snowy. You really can't be in the woods. It's not a good time.
Yeah.
In the
I love being
springtime,
in the woods
it's
when it's
okay.
snowy.
Yeah, but when you got like all the stuff,
They
it's
got
kind of
snow.
hard. We got
And
like
there's
snow.
Larissa. We were
Hi,
just
Larissa.
talking about you.
I was messaging her while you guys were on
Inadvertently.
break.
Oh, okay. Inadvertently talking about you, Larissa.
Hey. So so you got the winter time and you're like knee deep snow in the woods. Not a good time. The spring window is very nice. You could do stuff in spring. It's a little muddy. You have to deal with it, but it's okay. The minute it turns from spring to summer, deer ticks and nasty critters that you don't want on you and all sorts of spiders and stuff. And then it becomes, okay, so we could do this book in the summer and get Lyme's disease or wait till the fall. And then we wait till the fall. So it's like we get spring
Or
and
you
fall.
could just have it already like me and I can't get it again. So I'm just whatever. Ticks can come all over me.
I haven't had that part yet. I've heard it's rough. I heard it's real rough.
Yeah, it is. It's a chronic illness. It's we're not 100% sure if it's Lyme's, but what do you want to do?
You didn't highlight it.
I did highlight. I said, hey, we were just talking about her.
Oh, there
Hi,
she is
Larissa.
again.
Gary wants to make sure we get you attention. Yeah,
So
because
while
we
we've
know how
got
much he
Larissa
loves you.
pulled up, I just
Yes.
signed with Larissa as my representative, and I
Oh,
can say
awesome.
already that she has me not only in more events, but she's looking at more events to get me into than any of my other agents. And I've only
She's
been with her for
amazing.
like, what is it now? A week, I think, Larissa.
Yeah.
Maybe a week. So it's like,
Okay, she
where
was
the hell
trying to
were you
get
a
you into
year
events
ago?
before you officially signed. Can I tell you
Well,
that?
yeah.
She was trying
Yes,
to
she
get you
was.
into events before you officially signed. Because she was trying to get you into Doll's House for
Okay.
their Creep It Real events that I had in the beginning. But they just don't have the budget right now to have a bunch of people.
Yeah.
So it
I
wasn't
get
that they
that.
didn't want you. It's like this is the first year event and they just didn't have the budget. So
Right.
but
Well,
she
and
was
the
already
economy is
trying to
not
get
the
you in.
best
She's
right now,
amazing.
too. You know, like things are
No.
expensive.
I know. It is. It's
And
really
you got to wait
yeah.
till after. I mean, it's election year. You got to wait till everything settles in a little bit.
Well, election year is over.
No,
Inauguration is Monday.
no. You got the inauguration.
Yeah.
To the new
Yeah.
president. It's, dude. I'm 55. Like I
Mhm.
followed this shit like for
Sure.
years. I knew when my work was slow, when it was busy, and
Yeah.
you know it was always election year. And then,
Yep.
you know, do they kick in? You got to give it a couple months, and then things
Well,
will take off.
Yeah.
you know, the first 100 days is usually the most tumultuous. The most big changes are going to
Yes.
happen. And then usually after the first
Mhm.
100 days, it kind of steadies out. You
Yeah.
know, there's little blips, but for the most part, it's pretty steady. So I think by the time a lot of these big events come in, you know, springtime, things will hopefully be better. Hopefully.
No, we're gonna manifest that shit.
No,
It will be
springtime,
better.
Yeah. Oh,
We're
yeah.
manifesting it. It's going to be amazing. It's going to
Yeah.
be great. We're just that's
Yeah.
what we're doing.
Well, I already know it's going to be amazing and great because Larissa's getting me booked left and right. So I've got
That's
places to
awesome.
be
That's
and
amazing.
people to see, and I cannot wait.
And one of our sponsors, you're going to be at their event as well, right? Are you at the main paranormal?
I'm at Maine, yes. I'm bringing my BFF Diet with me too.
Are you?
Yeah, I was talking with Jeff, and I'm like, hey, you know, I have a medium that I'm really close friends with. I film with her all the time. She's the best, and she was able to get in. I think she's doing a gallery.
Oh, that's
So,
awesome.
she is just the best. We did an event in October called the Seance, and we went to the Watsika Wonder House in Watsika, Illinois. Have you heard of the Watsika Wonder House?
I actually have. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So, just to kind of recap the story in one sentence, it is the
I don't know much about it, but
okay, it's the first documented spiritual possession in the country.
mm-hmm.
It happened in approximately 1857, I believe. And basically a spiritual miracle happened on the property. I won't spoil it, but a spiritual miracle happened. So we had the idea of, because the father that built the house was a spiritualist at the time, he conducted seances. We're going to conduct a seance too on the same grounds this miracle happened, and we're going to have our own miracle. Sounds cool, right? Well, we wanted to. It's for when it's being filmed. It's a documentary. I'm currently editing it. It's big. It's going to take me a while, but it's going to come. But we wanted this seance to be like the most bang for the buck. What can we do to make this seance amazing? So me and Neil Gibbons, he was in chat earlier. We're sitting there talking about all these different things we can do, and he comes up with the idea to open the seance up to the public. And we have, I kid you not, a 150-person seance.
Wow.
All channeled
Imagine
into
that
one
energy.
person, all into Diet in the center.
That
and
energy.
She convened with the spirits of at least 30 people, because 30 people got their answers that night, and all of them left crying. So, you know, we're talking about you know, some of these people had questions that were just eating at them, and left with so much relief because they felt better about it. And it's like, you know, I think we conducted our own little miracle here.
And that's what it's about. It's helping those. I love mediums that like to do that and not just.
Yeah. And we got it on film. So I can share that miracle with everybody now and be like, look at this amazing experience. So, so with Diet doing that, I'm like, hey, you got to go to Maine. And I got her going to Maine. So she'll be my travel buddy.
That's awesome.
There is no way in hell I'm driving to Maine from Chicago. So that's like I think a 22-hour drive. So we're gonna fly.
Oh yeah.
We're
22 hours.
fly.
That's pretty
Yeah.
It's only like 8 for me. So
Yeah. 8
yeah.
for me was the Michigan Paracon. Even that was like,
Yeah.
oh my back. Oh, Gettysburg.
Oh, I know.
was
I
real
went to
rough. That's
Kentucky.
11.
Yeah. Waverly was that's where I filmed, was at Waverly.
Yeah.
And that was almost 9. And that was probably the longest I've driven because I was the day before, we filmed on Monday. That weekend before, I was in Moundsville at the prison doing a Paracon, and then I was like, well, I might as well just drive, because by then I have to drive back to Pittsburgh to catch a flight to go to Louisville.
Yeah. I remember I was maybe 26 and I drove to Vegas from Chicago, another 20-something hour drive. And I did most of it straight through. I felt fine. I was tired. I was exhausted, but I didn't hurt. I was like, yeah, I'm 26. I'm going to Vegas. Now, I just got done filming with a woman. Her name's Brittany Bickett. She lives in Indiana. She's 2.5 hours from me. I get to her house 2.5 hours away, and I'm like, God,
couldn't
my
get out of the
back,
car.
my knees, my hips. 2.5 hours.
Oh my God. You're like 15 years younger than I am, probably. I don't know how old you are, but
I'm
you're probably
37.
in your 30s, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So
so you're 10. You're 10 years
how
younger
quickly
than I
that changed. Let me tell you.
Wait, give it 10 years, buddy. Give it 10
Oh my
years, buddy.
goodness.
Okay.
Oh my goodness. Yeah.
Oh,
Well,
to be
in 10
37
years, I'll
again.
be like, I'll be looking at it like I can give you an hour to the airport, and then that's it. I can't drive any further because my body won't let me.
I know. Well, I have to get out. I have to stop. I don't do even 2.5 hours straight through. I have to stop at least once,
Yeah.
stretch. So
Yeah, I'm starting to realize it's about time to implement that in my plan now.
yeah, you should do
'Cause-
yoga. I'm a yoga practitioner. That's helped me so much.
Wait a minute. We would go.
I probably have
bags.
more.
We'd stop 4 times every 2 hours.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. I have more flexibility and probably more in my joints than you do, because if I don't know, maybe you do yoga. Do you do yoga?
Well, I did a little bit of yoga back in the day. And I stopped because I'm horrible at that kind of stuff. But I also spent a decade in the Army, so all of my joints are bad.
Yep.
I have
That's hard
degenerative
work
disc disease
on your
in my
body.
neck and my back. I have a torn labrum in my shoulder. I have sacroiliitis. What else do I got? Patellofemoral pain syndrome. So all the joints are messed up.
You know, next time we're together, I have some somatic movements I can do and might be able to help you with that, because I'm aware of nothing to hurt you, but it might be able to help you with some of those things. Because
well,
like
can't make it worse.
Somatic movements just keep. No, I could.
Well,
I went to school for this, so
true. Sure, sure.
I know what not to do, but we'll try some stuff next time I see you in person.
Yeah, I'm just looking at chat, and people are realizing how old I actually am, and Jenny's like, Larry's 6 years older than me. Yeah, that makes me old.
I know,
And then
Jenny's
Larissa
a
goes,
baby.
37. Yeah, just 37.
Yeah. And then Jerry's like, not y'all teenagers, calling us teenagers.
Yeah, right.
Let
me tell you, if I felt like a
Sadie's
teenager, I'd be unstoppable.
Okay, Sadie is like Jenny's age, and her body's aging like veggies you put in a crisper drawer 2 weeks ago. And then Susan says, I must stop the snacks. I'm not going to stop the snacks. I'm just going to enjoy my fupa. I earned it.
Got 4
I
snacks.
bring snacks. Yeah.
Oh.
I bring a large box of snacks with me. Pre-planned, already in advance, ready to go. So I don't have to worry about stopping for snacks. But I've been traveling a lot more, and I realized I need a travel companion, right? Like otherwise I'm doing this by myself. So I'll bring someone with me.
A Frenchie.
Well, a human companion would be good too. So I'll bring other investigators I work with, like Nikki that I mentioned before, or Brittany, or whoever. And I realized that when you have a female travel companion, you stop on trips a lot more often than you would when you're by yourself.
Because we have to pee more than you guys.
All the time. So
we have to pee.
Yes. And I get it. Especially, if you've had kids, you've got the pregnancy bladder that never goes away.
You can't cough or sneeze.
or use a trampoline ever again.
Oh, never,
again.
ever again.
Never.
I can never
Never.
jump on the trampoline again. I could just go to the bathroom,
Done. Just done.
empty the bladder,
So,
and then get on the trampoline. It's still
coming out. So when I go to places, I get breaks because of that. So it works out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
When I was
So it's
just
a good
filming this
excuse for
last
you.
weekend here, Brittany, it was me and Brittany, and then my friend Neil, who did the seance with me. And every 45 minutes, she's like, "Can we stop? Like, we're never gonna get there." Okay, we're gonna stop. Fine, that's fine. We'll stop. I'll just speed a little bit more to make the time up. But yeah, it's it's a thing. It's a thing.
No, it is a thing. Oh, I know. I almost died on the turnpike, Pennsylvania Turnpike. Yeah,
we
we
gotta
might have
make
been
the
going to
time
buck
up.
15, and I'm literally
Well,
like, "Oh my god, I'm gonna die! I'm gonna die."
Hey,
there
we
are
stopped
certain
like 2
cars
or
that you
3.
passed. You have to get back to them and then
Yeah,
pass them again.
Okay.
we stopped. I think we met Dale and Stacy in Pittsburgh, and we
Mhm.
stopped 2 or 3 times, 3 times, maybe twice. I don't know, but we stopped for like 15 minutes every time we stop. I made
Oh,
that
yeah.
time up plus some, and by the end of the last stop when we got there, I made all the time back up, and I was like, what, half hour ahead? Like I told Dale, and he's like, what? I'm like, yeah, dude. Like
Mhm.
we're going through the mountain
I
full
thought I was
load. I'm
going
like,
to die.
I got like, I'm like, if somebody pulled out in front of me and I had to like yank the wheel, I said we'd have rolled it. I said like,
You were rolling.
It was so. I mean, I've
I
never
was
been
like,
scared.
but I wasn't reckless or unsafe. You know what I mean?
It was scary. It was scary.
I
like the
don't
way
I
he
don't
was
zigzag
driving.
out of traffic. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like it was like no traffic, and I'm just
Oh,
cruising.
You
making
know,
time,
you could always get like empty Gatorade bottles and a Shiwi for long trips.
I just thought about that for her. I seen that one time, little piece
I
things for
mean,
ladies. I'm like, man, maybe I ought to get her one.
listen, on my deployment, when there was no stopping and you had to go, most of the guys, we Gatorade bottles fine. For some guys the opening's a little too big, but you'll figure it out. For the ladies, like, we can't stop. We have to keep going. We're on a mission. So what they would do is they would switch with the gunner if they weren't the gunner, and they'd stand up, and everybody would be like this in the truck. And they would use this little funnel called a Shiwi. And it allowed them to pee in the bottle without us stopping. Nobody could see because we're all like, hell no.
No, I don't care about people seeing. I don't have that kind of modesty, but
well, it's a very brother-sister relationship. So you're like,
yeah,
gross.
I think it's different.
Yeah.
I think it's different in the
That's
military.
gross.
Yeah.
See, you could get a bottle and one of them like gas, like back in the day, like the respirator things that had like the tube on it. You could put that in a jug, and she could just sit there and pee like that, and it has a little. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I can just wear a
Good.
diaper.
Nah,
If you want
that's
to
how
sit
you
there
get
and
like
pee,
rashes
go
and
ahead.
stuff. You know what? You
It's
wanna do
nice
that.
and warm. If
Well,
it's
you
winter,
just,
if
just
it's
put it
winter
on.
time,
You
you'll
put
get
it on to
warm.
pee, and then
Right.
you take it off when you're done. But anyway, before we end, I want to talk about your other book because this is something like I've been trying to get to, like the haunted by likes, the dark side of social media and our parents.
We'll talk about the book instead of peeing. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Good idea.
A more appropriate topic, I guess.
Well, I am interested in this because when I read the title, Haunted by Likes, the dark side of social media and the paranormal community, and I just don't like, we're in multiple communities. I do cosplay. I do a lot of fairy festivals and stuff like that, but I also do horror. And we do a lot of cryptid stuff. And that's our background, is like cryptid. And social media in general, when I hear that title that said Haunted by Likes, I felt that to my soul.
Yeah. Good.
I felt it to my
I'm
soul.
glad.
Just the title. Because and I feel like that sometimes because that's we chase it. We chase these likes. And I don't know if that's what you were getting at in the book.
I do too.
I mean, all night I've been sitting up here looking at our numbers and I'm like, oh, we're not doing very good. But there's a couple people on tonight doing some things. And it's like, oh, like
it's
why
an
does it matter
obsession
so much?
But in terms of the paranormal community, it's almost like a possession.
Mm-hmm.
You are possessed by the spirit of social media, and it is constantly driving you forward no different than a demonic possession would, if you believe in those, to do bad things. That social media possession is driving you to keep engaging and keeping the ball rolling and interacting with the algorithm, and it can get dark and nasty real quick.
Again, and it makes sure you can, it affects your mental health.
It does.
I recently took a break from it.
Yeah.
Would I take about a week break, and I really didn't post. I didn't post anything. I didn't do anything, but still, I make money off of Facebook and I make money off of YouTube. Like I make the money. So they sit there and they tell you, here, your numbers are down. Your numbers are down. Your numbers are down. I just ignored it.
Yeah.
And it was probably the happiest week I've had in a long time.
I just put a post out, what was it, yesterday? Because Facebook took me off of the recommended profiles list and my numbers dropped.
Yes.
And I'm like,
you have to stay on this recommended profile. Like,
and the funny thing is, like, I'm still putting stuff out and the same numbers are coming across and the same people are seeing my stuff. So it's like, are these numbers fake? Like, what is going on here?
I know. Are they pushing it? Are they like, yeah.
Right. It's funny you mentioned the mental health thing because that's a chapter in the book. It's chapter 8, Impact on Mental Health. And the funny thing is, do you know why? We'll talk about the app, not the website. Website's similar, but the app. Do you know why that you scroll on the app for Facebook and TikTok and Instagram? Do you know why it's designed
I've read a
that
couple
way?
different things, but why?
It's the slot machine effect.
It's eye movement.
It's the slot machine effect. Because when you're sitting there with the slots rolling, you're waiting for the next winner, and that's dopamine.
Yeah.
And once you get that high,
that's why TikTok works. The algorithm of TikTok is the best because they'll get the high. They get you to the high quicker than the others do. I never thought about that.
Right.
And I'm a psychologist. I have a master's degree, and that's what I do. I'm a therapist, and I work in mental health. But I know that the slot machines, they hire psychologists.
Oh yeah.
To design their machines.
Yep.
But I never thought about the social media. That's what it is.
It's the same
concept. Doom scrolling.
It's why they're all designed the same, and especially TikTok, where it's like clip. Facebook is more like open feed. It's a little bit different. But with TikTok, you're swiping individual videos to where it's like, that's a loser, that's a loser, that's a loser. Winner. I'm gonna watch this for a minute. And it's over.
Yeah.
Swipe. So
and I've noticed even on Facebook is starting, like, I've noticed, like, I wake up in the morning and I shouldn't do this. I've been talking to my own therapist about it. Don't get on your phone right away. But I do. I'm on my phone and I'm looking through the Facebook feed, and then I see a reel, and then I get stuck on the reels.
Oh yeah.
And it's similar to like the TikTok. And then all of a sudden I'm like, what am I doing here? Why am I here? How did I get here?
It sinks a bunch of time. Your
now
chemical balance.
Watch a dog rub his butt across the carpet.
Oh yeah. I have so many dog eating ASMR videos that I got stuck on, and I'm just like, why am I watching this? One more. One more.
Yeah, exactly.
So, and then with that comes all sorts of other things. You've got depression, you've got anxiety, you've got, everything in between. And then for ailments that you already have, like let's say you're bipolar, you're already depressed, you already have anxiety. This just makes it worse. Social media does not help. So while everything in the book is more geared around the paranormal side of social media, it's all relevant across the entire spectrum. Cosplay, horror, paranormal, it's all the same.
Yeah.
Social media is not the best, which is ironic because the only reason we're doing this right now is because of social media.
It is.
So there are pros to it. It's just, you have to be super careful.
Yeah, it's you get stuck in the algorithm, so to speak. Like you get stuck in the matrix of it, and like I said, like, and I took that break. It was the best thing for me. And now that I've come back, I've kind of been like, you know what? I don't care. Facebook says I'm down 30%. Whatever. I'm like, I mean, I literally, you open your page and you'll have a little, it doesn't say it right now. Oh, right here it is. No, sometimes it comes up here on your little, like and it'll say last post down 30%.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
Well, that's your activity,
So
not your
in the amount of
people
time that
that are
I've
checking.
been since your break, I already have 26 notifications for Facebook. I don't know if you can see it. I have 26.
yeah,
So it's
I have
like,
13.
I have to constantly be checking this because if those notifications for some reason disappear, and they do,
They do.
people leave me a comment thinking I'll comment back, and then I don't want them to think I'm ignoring them.
Mm-hmm.
But it's feeding into my
Exactly.
own
Well,
social
and
media issue.
it is. And I think you're like on Facebook, you're at like 5,000, right? Is that what you're
Yeah,
at?
five something, yeah.
Yeah. And I'm at 2 something. Can you imagine those who have like Dave Schrader?
No,
What does he
no,
have? Dave Schrader has a ton. Like,
he's a ton.
I'm not even sure how many he has, but he has a ton.
I don't know either.
And how he deals with it, like, because people are reaching out to him. He's getting the same alerts that we're getting. How does he shut it down? I can't even find his name.
Well, he probably makes enough
Schrader has
money. He just does that
37,000
for
followers.
37,000.
my
he
Can you
does it- He
imagine?
responds for 6 hours. He gets paid enough.
I don't think he really ever
Oh my
responds
God.
to anybody.
So he does.
There has to come a point where you shut down and you don't respond.
He probably
So
Only
he'll
replace
respond
you.
every once in a while to things that I'll put up. He mostly
I know every once in a while
he
he'll
mostly
comment on my
likes.
stuff. I'm like, oh, that you
Yeah.
commented on my stuff.
Yeah, he mostly likes and doesn't comment because you can do that quick.
Yeah.
But a lot of things he's getting tagged in. So you just accept tag, like, move on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But yeah, it's 30s. I couldn't imagine it. I don't know if I'll ever get to that point, but 5,000's a lot already. So
It is. I'm at 2 and I'm overwhelmed. I can't imagine if I get 3 more thousand, what would happen.
it's just
So,
double the
and then
amount of work.
37,000.
Oh,
But
yeah,
then
no.
again, we're and back to your, like, I guess the theme of your book, like, we're not examining. What's the word I'm looking for? We're our worth is in our how many we have, how many likes we have, how many followers do we have.
We seek validation through this external source, through likes and interactions and positive comments, and we can literally be destroyed by a single negative comment. One comment. You could have this post where you're just like, oh my God, I feel so great today. I'm having such a good day. And 45 people are like, you're beautiful. You're doing an amazing job. And one person goes, hey, your nose looks kind of ugly. Your whole day's ruined.
You want to know why
45
that
other
is?
people, though, are saying good things.
From a psychological standpoint, you know why that is? That one comment bothers us?
Sure.
Because it's not about the comment. It's something within ourselves that we already feel insecure about, and it triggered that, and then we get stuck. We get stuck in that because no matter how much we like the dopamine and the serotonin, our body, when our brain releases chemicals of those negative emotions, and we get addicted to the negative cycles. And our brain wants, and then so that's when our body takes over and says, no, feed me more, stay guilty, stay in this dark area.
Right.
Because it's like a drug.
That's kind of where all that negativity and the drama comes into the paranormal. Is people love the drama, and it's like, no, stay away, stay out of that cesspool, because once you're in it, you are stuck. You are stuck in it.
I'm so trying to stay out of it.
People will continuously come to you and be like, did you see what they do now? Did you see what they do now? Shut up. Leave me alone. No.
That's what I've started. And I fell for that for a while, Larry. And I would start be like, because I just wanted to hear them and I wanted to listen to them. And, I feel like I wanted to be part of their world, whatever. But I've started that recently. A couple people have reached out because there's a lot going on right now. And they're like, do you want to see the screenshot? Like, do you want to see the screenshot? Do you want to see the video? Do you want to see that? No, I don't want to see it. Like, I will honor you. We are friends, respect you. I don't want to see it.
Sure.
Like, and that was a big boundary that I just recently had to put in place.
Yeah. And you have to. You have to, otherwise you're getting pulled into. You're like Atreyu and his horse. You're just getting stuck in the mud. And now you have trauma for the rest of your life because you watched a horse die on TV.
trail. Is that what you're talking about? Are you talking about Never Ending Story?
Yeah. What was the name of the horse?
A
I cannot remember
trail.
the name. What was it?
A trail. A trail.
Was it?
Yeah. Are you talking about Never Ending Story, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a trail. A trail. I think that's how you say it. A trail. I have dyslexia, so I might be saying it wrong. That's why I asked you how to say your name like 5 times and practiced.
I don't think that's it. Is
A
it?
trail. He's like crying at him and going, a trail, a trail.
Artax is the name of the horse.
Oh, Artex. Why is
Artax.
a trail? And see, that's my dyslexia.
Atreyu is the person.
Oh,
but
that's
Artax
right.
is the horse. I could not remember Artax.
He's going, Artex. See,
Artax,
and in my dyslexia brain, I saw him yelling a trail. Artex. Yes.
Yeah, Artax. So, you know, like that's like trauma for all kids like my age and adults, you know, that watched it. You know, basically
You were too young for that movie.
I have that movie.
Your parents did a good job.
I love that movie. Oh my God.
Me too.
But Labyrinth too. So,
oh yeah.
So, you know, you're getting pulled into the muck with Artax. And you have to be like, no, don't pull my reins. I'm not going in there. No. That's the only way. So, and then there's other things that kind of play into it, with especially social media, with like commercialization of the paranormal, which I understand. I'm a part of that crowd. I make films that are on a network that you have to pay for. I get it.
Yep.
I understand.
Yep.
I know I'm hypocritical, but it's what I do for a living.
But you don't
I
pay
love
for
doing
that
it.
much. Paraflix isn't that much.
It's like $4.99 a month. It's nothing.
It's like
Beacon is
$4.99 a
about
month.
the
I pay
same.
it. Like
I think Spirit Network is the same. It's all the same. So, and there's so many ways to save money with all these different giveaways that people do. Like, it's doable. So, but you know, that extends now to conferences. We talked about Larissa before. You know, how many events have people tried to throw with no money? They have a zero budget from start because they want to throw an event. And they use their vendor money to pay for everything, only to realize they can't pay for anything.
Yeah.
So the only way they're going to get speakers is if they convince the speaker to do it for free. And the speaker has to travel. They have hotel, they have food, they have, you know, gas cost. So, you know, people expect these speakers. My first year speaking, it was 2023.
I spent $10,000+ this year going and speaking at events.
Yeah. I was negative every event, like $600 that I spoke at, because of no one would pay me. And this last year I said, you know, that's going to stop. Like, my goal is to break even. And if you can't even give me lodging, I ain't going to go, because it's not worth it to me.
Yeah. That's where I'm at.
You know, I did fairly well with that. And now I have this fantastic, wonderful, I don't know if it's an agent, representative, manager. We'll figure out the term later. Manager. I have this wonderful manager that's
she says she is for Sandy. So
she'll do a good job.
She's gonna do a great job.
I'll take manager. I have this wonderful manager who's like, no, he's gonna get covered. And lo and behold, they're like, oh yeah, okay. I think they're scared of her. I think they're scared of her. I'm kind of scared of her, so I feel like it. So, but you know, if they're paying people like me to go to an event, they have to raise the ticket cost. The price of the ticket has to go up to cover that. I do workshops for film at paranormal events. Those are added costs onto the event ticket, because what I do is not normally included. It's something that I put together from my time teaching film at Northern Illinois University. It's a whole separate thing. So that's another.
But I'm sure you got a big bill from that school.
If you want to call that person your manager, that's great. She is great. Don't ever release the Kraken, or you're in trouble.
Sorry, I think that's a private joke.
I'm afraid of her when she's nice to me. I don't know. I don't want to.
You need to come to Jim Thorpe with us sometime. You need to fly in. We'll pick you up in Harrisburg.
Okay. What's
and
Jim
come
Thorpe?
To Jim Thorpe with us when we. What's Jim Thorpe? So you don't know Pennsylvania.
There's a lot of history there.
Oh, there's a lot of history there. Look it up. Look up Jim Thorpe. It's a Swedish town in the mountains of Pennsylvania. There is nudity camps all around.
Okay.
No, in the Poconos. It's in the Poconos. So there's like nudity camps and swingers clubs and like in the mountains. Like
How you know about all
what's
that
in the
up
mountains?
there?
Because we accidentally find them when we try to book places.
You say you got this long trip to go to work.
So, like, the Poconos is like this. What happens to the Poconos stays in the Poconos. But this is a
Okay,
small.
okay.
The history in the town.
There's a lot of good history,
and they
there.
keep all the buildings still look like they did when you walk in this town.
It's
You feel
beautiful.
like you're walking in 1800 Switzerland.
Mhm.
It's
Wow.
beautiful, and then they have a train ride, and yeah, you have to come out. I don't see Larissa Owen anymore, so but you have to come out,
Yeah.
and we usually go down and hang out with them. And
She'll never find out that I'm scared of her.
Don't ever release the Kraken.
I'm serious. Like Susan says, next paranormal convention there. Now that's a good idea. But they're it's at Pennsylvania Dutch, Susan. You know how that is.
I don't think that would work there.
I don't know if they would. There's places in there that you can investigate, but there's a lot of places you cannot even go in to investigate anymore. The old jail you can tour, but you can no longer investigate. The mansion, the mansion there is designed from Disney's like Disney's haunted house is designed from this mansion.
Wow.
The original Disney's, they took this mansion and that's how they made the haunted house. So when you look at this mansion, it looks like Disney's haunted house.
This is my personal opinion. They don't want all the they want your travel people to come in there. Because it's a known town. They don't want the paranormal. Is my opinion. People coming in and kind of ruin it.
Because we ruin things, I guess.
You know what I mean?
No.
No.
That's because we come in with like $500, take it or leave it, and Travel Channel comes in with like 50,000.
I don't mean it
take
that
it or leave
way,
it.
but if you got like a bunch of paranormal people coming in, then you got your tourists trying to come in. They can't come in because the paranormal people are there, and because of Jim Thorpe's history, that's just my opinion. I'm not busting on the paranormal world, but that's just my opinion. Like
Gary's not very happy with the paranormal world right now.
They just want to keep it, They want.
There's a lot of people that aren't happy with the paranormal world right now.
Yeah, your towns like that, they want your tourists coming in because there's people that come from long ways to go in there. You know what I mean? Like say, look it up. There's a lot of history.
So Jim Thorpe was a Native American athlete. Actually, I'm looking it up right now. He was a Native American athlete. James Francis Thorpe was an American athlete and gold medalist, but he was a gold medalist. But he was a citizen of the Sac and Fox Nation. He was the first Native American.
That's the Black Hawk War tribes.
Yeah. So he's part. See, there's a connection there with what you're studying, and Jim. I bet you there is.
Yeah, he probably came out of the Iowa tribe because after 1832 they were in Iowa.
Okay, he was born May 28th, 1887.
So yeah, he would have been the Iowa group.
Okay.
Like I guess what I'm kind of getting at is like people want to go into like like a hotel or a bed and breakfast, and they can't because they got investigators there. When they got people traveling long distance to come there.
Sure.
It's because there's a lot of history in that town.
I mean, the way I look at it.
I mean, I don't mean that in a bad way. You know what I mean? That's
like,
I'm sure what I said, people are going to, but it's like there's a lot of history there. Like
there is.
I mean, it's.
I don't know how much you know about Pennsylvania, and I don't know if it's like this in the Midwest, but there is a lot of people who, for religious reasons, believe that connecting to spirits is connecting to the devil. They don't believe that spirits exist.
What is that? Presbyterian?
Well, yeah, there's a lot of that. It's Pennsylvania Dutch, and a lot of it around here. Like if you connect with these spirits, you're not connecting with the real spirits. You're connecting with the demons that are portraying to be these spirits. So you get a lot of backlash here from that.
We have that a little bit here. And then we just have the older crowd, like nothing religious. They just don't want to.
Yeah.
There was an auction house that we were looking to film at, and the manager was this really nice younger lady. She was like, there is stuff here all the time. You'll have a great time here. And then this old dude that owns the place, who's never there, she had to get permission from him because we had to get a location release. And he's like, no, I don't want anything to do with that in my property. And it's like, you're not even here. Like, what do you care?
I
They don't want
know.
the stigma of the paranormal, and they don't realize that the paranormal is a selling feature.
It is a selling feature, but when we're on Facebook and all talking trash about each other,
well, yeah,
you know, we're kind of we're show right now we are showcasing publicly a disembodied world. That's not the right word. Disconnected world in the paranormal. So I think, and the drama is following it. So I think a lot of people are, you know, yes, there are a lot of people that are hurt. A lot of people that have got things done wrong to them, but it needs
the dopamine
to come off of social media and be dealt with face to face.
When it's usually individual characters, it's not as bad. But when you have one of the parties being a large community, then it makes it a big event that everyone's going to talk about.
It does.
And it just gets dragged on and on and on and on.
But it feeds dopamine, like we said earlier. It really does. Like
people are in there. They're not only chatting and getting that dopamine feed, but the people like us, not us particularly, like specifically, like people like us that get paid by Facebook, they'll put these posts out and get 200 comments and make $10 off that post.
I know.
Or they'll put a video out and they're like, for the next 5 minutes, I'm going to talk about my side of the story. And I totally did this when I had to get my restraining order. So I'm a part of the problem too. Don't worry. But
we're all part of the problem. We all are.
And they'll get hits on that video and they'll get paid for the video. So it's like, you know, everyone's playing a part. Everyone is. Whether you're feeding into it or you're feeding it, it is.
Exactly. Like I was talking to my bestie who I have to now authorize my post through her. Because and I was like, can I post this? Should I post this? She's like, no, that's going to feed drama. And I'm like, but it's going to get likes and people are going to comment on it. And like, I don't know if you noticed today, like, and I will fully admit what I did today. I did 2 different posts that engaged the audience. And now she's laughing. There's the Doss House. That engaged the audience. That's her, the Doss House. Yeah. Because I had a podcast tonight. So I was like, well, I need to engage my audience today. Right. And I did one about like your numbers and your dollar signs and how much money do you have based on things you did. Then the other one was like, you know, give me a motivational quote that's funny because people will comment. But I knew that way I know they comment, then they're going to get the alert later that I'm live.
Right. You have to feed the algorithm so that they go and see the stuff you need them to see.
And the algorithm wants drama right now. It wants this, and that because that's what's it's like who started it? What came first, the chicken or the egg? The drama or the algorithm?
Right.
So I told her, but it's going to get likes.
Well, and like any trend, and drama is a trend. Once it hooks on the algorithm, you're along for the ride until the algorithm's done with it. You're just gonna go.
Yeah.
You have to.
Yeah. You do.
So the only way to stop it is to stop interacting with it.
And that's haunted by likes.
Haunted by likes.
Yeah. So where can people find your books? I'm assuming on Amazon. Are they on Amazon or?
All the books are on Amazon. Haunted by Likes is an ebook, so that's only Amazon. But if you're at any of the events that I'm at, you could get the other 2 books in person, you know, already autographed and signed. And then I have a little display on my booth to where you could just scan the QR code and it'll take you to the Haunted by Likes page. So you could get it right there, even without having to search. Just scan the code and you're good to go. So technically, you can get all 3 at events too. And then all of the events I go to, I try to do ghost hunting kits. That's kind of one of the things that I've been offering this last year and this year coming up here. A starter kit and then a spirit box kit, which I don't currently have any spirit box kits. I still have to make those, but I have starter kits. And I compare it to like the Ghost Stop starter kit, where you get like a really crappy EVP voice recorder on your wristwatch and a really cheap EMF meter. And that's pretty much it. That's all you get. For like $145 or something. Whereas with mine, you get an actual EVP recorder, a flashlight, 4 cat balls, a dowsing rod, pendulum board, and a zipper carrying case to put it all in
You're a smart
cheap-
man.
for
Wow.
cheaper than what Ghost Stop does. And
Yeah.
they sell out. So I just have to keep making more.
Yeah.
So that's
It's
what
kind of like
you'll
my
see at
sage
events.
kits, my house cleansing kits. I make house cleansing kits for people
Yeah.
that have the sage, the shell, and the little shell to put their sage in, and
Yeah.
So
Could
putting those
you
kits
do
together
it
are
yourself
a
and
big
piece
thing.
it together yourself? Absolutely, you could.
Yeah.
But here's a kit where it's already done, and it's actually not that
Already
bad
done.
price. Oh well, I'll just
No,
take the
it's
kit.
not.
So
love it.
that's what I do for conferences, and I wish I could list off a bunch of the conferences that I'm at, but I think I'm up to 25 booked in now. So
And you
I'm
had I on your
scrambled.
Facebook, I saw a graphic of all the ones you're at. Didn't you
Yes,
make a graphic of all the ones you're at? Yes.
it's my pinned post, and even that's outdated now. I have to update that. And my first one is going to be February 1st. I can say that. I know that one. It's February 1st. That
Okay.
is Dead of Winter with Troy Taylor in Alton, Illinois.
Hmm.
And then after that, I believe I'm going to cheat and go to my Facebook on my other computer here. I'm in Old Baraboo Inn again, February 22nd
Okay.
for the overnight
Okay.
there. And then I end February in Missouri for the Missouri Paracon.
Yes.
So,
and I've always wanted to be part of that Missouri Paracon, but I don't do. Bear is my spirit animal, so winter I hibernate to.
I'm excited for
re-up.
it. I know it's going to be big. It's going to be massive. I just have to hope that between Alton and Baraboo, I have enough time to build more kits. Otherwise, I'm not going to have enough.
Yeah.
But then after that,
feeling.
starting in March, it's either every other week or 3 weeks a month until November.
Yeah, once March starts, that's.
This is going to be probably my busiest year. I've never been this busy before, but people want to see me, so
And
I'm
that's
going to
good
do
though.
it.
And these are all things that you're getting paid for. That's great. Like last year was my busiest year, and I went in the hole, and I literally had to revamp my business because of it.
There are some that I'm doing for free. Like there's the Paraventure, that's the autism online event. It's like a fundraiser for autism. Like I don't want to get paid for that. I'm fine.
No.
The Paranormal Rockdown, that's an hour from my house, hour and a half from my house. I don't need lodging. And Broadhead Manor is like my home base. So just give the building my money. I don't care. Whatever. I'll do that for free. But like the ones where I have to go to Gettysburg, Missouri.
If I have to travel,
I at least need lodging, and then maybe a little bit more. Lodging is really what gets me.
It's the lodging, and that's what killed us this year. It's the paying for
a little bit of everything: lodging, food, gas. When you travel far.
Well, and when you set up for a booth, you can't just travel the night before. Like you have to travel the day before. So you actually have an extra night of lodging.
Yeah.
Right.
If it's a 2-day event, it's three. If it's a 1-day event, then you could probably get away with 2, depending on how far you are.
Right.
But yeah, I get it.
And then most hotels are $200 a night, if not more.
Yep.
So you're really paying out for hotels. It adds up super fast.
It does.
You're like probably $100, maybe a little less in gas on the way down, that on the way back.
Give or take. Give or take.
Yeah, depends on how far. Could be 80,
I know for me
75.
to go to Gettysburg, it was 200 round trip in gas.
11 hours. Yeah. That's about right.
That was pretty good.
Food,
Tolls was about
hotel.
$50.
Yeah.
Hotels included. Food I probably spent about 75 or 100. I was trying local
because we know how to eat cheap, right?
They're almost like $1,000 weekends.
They can be
like
quickly,
like
very quickly.
Oh
yeah.
And
I
that's
mean,
why
600 is 700 is like a guarantee.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Guarantee.
And that's why it's so
now,
important.
If you get meet out with friends, and you have a good
asking
time, then it gets more. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I go out after like conference nights with other people. Like there's a lot of events where I'm going out with Dave Schrader and Shane and them, and it's like, well, I'm here. I might as well get food. Well, I might as well get a beer. and now my
Another
dinner
$100,
is
150.
$50.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah,
but
I know.
and that's why it's so important for when you do speaking and stuff like that. Like, you know, you have to stand up for yourself. You have to be like, listen,
I have a
I
hard time
can't go into
advocating for
debt.
myself.
I do too.
I'm
That's
learning.
why
I'm learning. Larissa's
I have
helping
Larissa
me.
for that now. Larissa advocates for
I
me
haven't
because I
signed
can't
her
do it.
yet,
Well, Stacy
it
was
won't
like,
be long.
"You be
I-
my manager and you take care of that." And then she goes,
He
"Oh, by
doesn't
the
know how to
way,
do it.
we're going here." And I'm like,
because you don't know how to do it.
"You didn't
Yeah.
let me take notes."
So, but Larissa's not my manager yet, but I think I'm where you were at with her a while ago.
Yeah.
I think eventually I would love to sign her and have her take me on. But yeah, I mean,
I filled
it
my
is.
schedule mostly myself this year, so she's kind of just
Yeah.
plugging holes right now. But
Yeah.
I think for 2026, when she has full reign of my entire year,
Mhm.
I don't
Yeah.
know what's gonna happen. I have no idea. I don't know. She's gonna be like,
You're
"Hey,
gonna
you're going to
manifest that
Alaska?"
shit.
And I'm like,
It's gonna be.
"Alaska? What?"
I want to go to Alaska.
She'll be
wanna go
like,
hunt
"Okay, you're
Bigfoot.
going to
See, I wanna hunt
Florida
Bigfoot.
now? We're going to a beach resort for a paracon?
I
Like,
don't
where
know if
did you
she
find
has any
this?"
cryptid.
How long will it take you to drive to Alaska?
I don't
We're
know if she
flying.
has any Bigfoot cryptid people
I don't know.
that on her on and that would be because that's what we like to do. Like that's what we want to. That's our focus is more of the
Yeah.
cryptid Bigfoot world. Like that's
My focus is more
I wanna
like
go to
Gavin,
Alaska.
where we focus on the film side.
Yeah.
Whereas with Gavin, he's more focused on studio type stuff, and I'm more focused on out in the environment producing and teaching film.
Yeah.
So we both bring two different things. That's actually kind of cool.
Yeah, and that's awesome. Okay, so it is 10:30. We're way past our show time, but I loved it. This was a lot of fun. Yes, a lot of fun. So people can follow you on Facebook, obviously.
Yep. Facebook's the main one. Just look for the blue check mark with that name. That name.
Yes.
And as soon as you see the blue check mark, you know it's me. Yeah.
Yes. Blue check mark. I know that's a big thing. I did it recently too because you got to protect yourself. And
well,
you
there's
gotta protect
that,
people that
and I like for like a podcast. I talk to people through Facebook to schedule things.
Mhm.
You know, to
But
set
then
up
people go out and
investigations,
talk
set up filming.
like for me.
Yeah.
I have a question, but it's off him. We know Sean is here. I'd like to know if Danielle's still here?
No, Danielle's got to work in the morning. I
Oh, she
guarantee
already
she's
left?
not here.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Never mind.
So they can follow you on Facebook. Your YouTube channel is
Small Town Productions. That's where I mostly keep my portfolio for stuff that I make. The trailers, the teasers, or any projects that don't have a home yet. You can watch them all there. And then I'm on Instagram. It connects to my Facebook. I'm not super active. I exist. That's it. I exist.
Yeah.
And normally I say I'm on TikTok, but I don't think that's gonna matter next week. So
it will. No, it's gonna. I don't think it's gonna happen. I've been doing a lot of research on that. I don't think it's going to.
I think someone's gonna 11th hour buy it out.
I think that's what's going to happen. Yes.
Yeah.
During the 11th hour, I do. I've been looking at both with a very open mind of like, okay, let me look at him and let me read his energy and let me read Congress's energy was, oh my God, you guys are fucking stupid. Sorry. Did I say that out loud?
Well, they do
now
call
I'm
a
banned.
gathering of monkeys a Congress, so
now I'm banned because they're like, does TikTok use your Wi-Fi, connect to your Wi-Fi? And the guy looks at him like, yeah, if you want to connect to the internet.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah,
they're just not people who are, and I'm not, their error is different. The generation is different. They don't really understand all of the TikTok-y social world.
Right. Well, most of them, when they're on their phone, they go to their assistant and be like, "Can you do this for me? Thanks."
Yeah.
They don't know how to work their phones.
Exactly. So, so obviously Facebook's probably the best place, or YouTube, to kind of reach out to you.
Yes.
And
especially Facebook. I'm very easy to get a hold of on Facebook. Unless I'm doing something like this, I usually respond back really quick. So, or
You
if I'm
do. You
sleeping.
usually respond really good.
And then I wake up after 4 hours and have 57 notifications, and I'm like, ah.
Yeah, don't text him at 7 in the morning. He's probably either sleeping or taking his kids to school.
Yes.
So he's
Yeah.
more human after 2 p.m.
I'd say noon.
Which is
I'd say noon.
noon. Yeah, that's me. I'm
Yeah.
about noon.
Like,
I'm a
I'm-
late person. He's going to bed and I'm still up, and he's like, "What are you doing? Are you coming in?"
I
can-
got 4 in the
I can
morning.
be up.
I'm solid human at 2 p.m. though, but I'm human at noon.
Yeah.
I'm just not fully
Yeah, but
developed yet.
solid 2 p.m. is like great. Like, okay, I'm
Right.
ready to
With
take on the
Shauna
world.
the other night yapping and woke me up. I'm like, I gotta get up and go to work. Next day, I'm
Shauna
like,
and I,
what time was it? She's like, oh, I don't know, like maybe 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock. And I'm like,
Yep.
my alarm goes off at 4. And
Well,
you're
you know,
waking me
I'm-
up to ask me questions.
no,
like,
we were talking over a video chat, and then we had paranormal shit happening. So we're bringing out equipment. She's on her end. I'm on her end. We're
so she
getting the
wakes me
kids
up
on
an
the
hour and a
REM
half
pod.
before I have to get up.
So we had to keep going and talking to the spirits.
I do almost all of my video editing starting at 10 p.m.
Yeah.
My house is quiet. The
Yeah.
dog is asleep. He's not looking for attention. People on Facebook are mostly asleep. So,
Yep.
I just had to redo Jenny's video because she added Alicia
Mhm.
into her show. And I probably sent her the final video at like 2 a.m. And I'm like, all right, you'll
Yeah.
get this when you get this. Good night.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah, I'm up late. So if
Shauna
you want to
says,
message me
"Oopsie."
late, go ahead.
Shauna, this is for you.
Oh, here we go. That's for Shauna. They call Gary Squinty Eye Gary.
This is for
Oh,
Shauna.
Go
okay.
get my fly. My fly's right
Well,
up there, Shauna.
I can understand. I'm a little squinty eyed too, so it's a little bright in my office right now.
It's a little more than being bright, but
It's bright.
Right there.
So everybody, thank you. Any final words, Larry, that you would like to say to the audience?
Yeah, check out the Days of the Dead video through Tribe 3 Productions. I'll actually be sharing it here once I get off, so you'll find that on my
share
Facebook.
anything in the comments. Yeah.
It's a video about the Days of the Dead, a horror expo, and all the amazing things that happened there. The next project that I'm doing for Tribe 3 is a cosplay documentary. So that'll be coming out at the end of the year, where it's just about cosplay. So that one, again, completely left field from the paranormal, completely
I
different.
know, I'm a cosplay girl, so like, yeah.
I'm
See my
super
fairy
excited to
wings?
get
These are
into
my
it.
fairy wings right here.
Is that what those are?
Yeah, that's what these are. They're my fairy wings
Okay.
and my Beetlejuice. But hold on, my Beetlejuice.
Most
is
of my
stuck in them.
cosplay stuff is like vampire, Viking.
You don't even know how you got hooked.
Mine are farrier pirates.
Okay.
My fairy
Well, yeah,
wing.
the Viking and the pirate kind of goes together. Oh, I see it
Yeah.
now.
You got it backwards.
Yeah, there you go.
There you go.
There's my fairy
Yeah.
wings. Okay.
Yeah.
See, I have
So-
fairy ears too. I'm a fairy.
Right. The elf ears.
I do.
The,
You have them. I'm a fairy. I'm an elf.
So the cosplay doc is next, and then I have a couple other things that are hush hush right now. Can't talk about it. But if you go to
Mhm.
Brittany Bickett on Facebook, she also has a blue check mark. She is allowed to share the things that I'm doing for this particular project.
Okay.
So go to her or Michelle Roos, her mom, and they're sharing stuff, and you can kind of see what I'm working on. I'm not sharing it.
Okay.
That's not my job too. It's their job too.
Brittany Bickett. Okay.
Yep.
We are
Blue
going to go
check
look
mark.
it up. We're going to go look it up. So
And then,
we appreciate you.
Yeah, and then I have
Okay.
some other stuff coming out at the end of the year. So more will be put out about that at a later time.
We're
Maybe
very
we
excited.
should have you back on in a couple months.
Yeah. When you have
By all,
Get
more-
some
yeah.
updates.
well, what we can do is approximately March, the seance will be done. Or not March, May.
Oh, I
sorry.
would love to see that. Yes.
Approximately May.
Yeah, maybe we'll March we'll have you
Um,
back on. Yeah.
So what we can do is we can do a show more themed around that and about the
Yeah.
Watika Wonder House, the hauntings, the seance. and
Maybe
just
we could bring your partner in crime on. I forget her name. That I would love to have her on too, and you guys could both come
Yeah.
on and we could talk about that. Yeah, that would be great.
Yeah, let's do it. Yeah. And
Okay,
then by
let's
then
do
I'll
it.
have
We'll get
I'll
in
have
the
a
books.
trailer up for it that you guys can air too.
Oh, that would be cool. That would be cool. I love that.
So yeah, let's
Oh.
look at maybe sometime in June, like a weekday in June.
Okay. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then-
June.
and
I'm
then
always
we'll
on
be-
Thursday nights, 8:30. So, or 7:30 your time. But
Yeah.
Yes.
okay.
Yeah.
Well, we appreciate you coming on.
Yeah,
And
thank you.
thank you
for having
so
me.
much for joining us. And again, thank you all you in the comments, all you that have watched, shared, said anything, interacted with us, this is why we're here. It is because of you. Like, we couldn't do this. We wouldn't be able to do this. It wouldn't be aired anywhere if it wasn't for the audience. So thank you guys so much for joining us. And remember, you cannot fill from an empty cup. So please fill your cup first. Thank you all.